I'd like to say that I never wanted something like this to happen, but in that moment, I wanted to hurt Lucas. I wanted him to stop. I underestimated my own strength. When I screamed and pushed him away, he was thrown against the wall. And then the wall seemed to absorb him. In an instant, he was gone, vanished into the wall. Did I just kill someone? I was in shock and ran outside. I bumped into someone. He grabbed both of my shoulders and looked me in the eyes.
Are you okay? I heard you scream.
Noah asked. Then he wiped away a tear from my face. I hadn't even realized I was crying. In that moment, I wanted nothing more than for him to hug me. But no. I looked at him, stepped back, and said, "I told you I can take care of myself. Leave me alone." I walked away. I noticed him following me all the way home, probably making sure I got back safely. If he knew what I had done, maybe he wouldn't have. The next morning, I still couldn't believe what had happened. I quickly got up and went back to Lucas's place, wanting to check if I had really killed him. But when I opened the door, a group of angry men was there, all dressed in black, with a man in his 50s standing in the middle. They looked like something out of a mafia movie. The man asked who I was and where Lucas was. I replied that I didn't know. I didn't want to confess what had happened, not knowing if these guys were his friends. The man started cursing, saying that he wanted to see Lucas hurt, if not even dead. Apparently, what he tried to do to me, he did to the man's daughter. I went back home. The guys from my building were standing out front and saw me. They yelled that I had to pay rent one way or another, and one of them grabbed my arm. I shoved him away harder than I intended and said, "If you ever think about touching me or any other woman again, I'll personally make sure someone cuts off your favorite body part." He looked like he wanted to come at me again, but I didn't flinch.
I like her. She's tough.
Said the man from Lucas's apartment, suddenly behind me. I hadn't noticed he was there. His men stepped in, making sure the guys from my building backed off. I turned to face him.
I'm Jonathan Morless, and I want you to work for me.
He said. I recognized the name and smiled. My guess about the mafia wasn't far off. Morless had been a crime boss before everything fell apart, and that hadn't changed. The only difference now was that there were no police to stop him, and his power had grown. He extended his hand toward me. I smiled and took it. No one would mess with me that easily again. Before long, I became one of Morless's closest associates. He trusted me more than most of his men. Everyone in the city began to know me as Morless's girl. I saw him as a father figure, especially since I never had one growing up.